because it was kept secret and they were talking, it was like, ooh, wow, the troops say they're growing opium. Well, that's illegal. But by just coming out, I mean, you got to hand it to them. They're slick and going, yeah, we grow the opium. It's how we fight Al-Qaeda. And if we catch you with it, you're going to jail, but we're going to ship it into America. It's like, okay, we grow the opium, but you'll go to jail if you use it. So that's what I mean. They're just, yeah, the DU kills our troops. Big deal. Yeah, we're taking their pension funds and death benefits when they die. Big deal. Yeah, we're running Al-Qaeda. Big deal. It's just big deal. Well, my challenge is, it is a big deal. Because if they can get away with saying torture is good and torture of children is good in front of their parents and secret arrest is good and the NSA spying on us without warrants is good and forcibly inoculating children all over the country is good without parental consent. No, man, this is a criminal government assaulting us. And the challenge is, start with something like Al-Qaeda. I mean, here are some of the articles today. New York Times scrubs a mention of CIA arming Syrian rebels, who they go on to admit are dominated by Al-Qaeda and who are blowing up churches. And then people go, well, you know, we got to get the Arabs killing each other. Nothing. We're not running any of this. Stop playing like you're a CIA black op commander. I mean, even if you are a CIA black op commander, you're drinking fluoride, you're taking vaccines, you have no future, you're planned to be removed. Any of you that serve this evil system, you are idiots. Just because you can grasp the end justifies the means in some Machiavellian way doesn't mean you're a rocket scientist. It means you're a fool. And I liken it again to the Ring of Mordor. You cannot use evil for good. You cannot do it. It will always revert to evil. You may get some big result up front, but you will get far more evil out of it. And it goes on. To break down, it's all over the British foreign press. It's admitted there's U.S. troops on the ground. They've been shipping weapons in out of Turkey, out of Jordan, to shoot down aircraft, blow things up. This has been going on for 8 months. And our media is like, that dirty Assad, and they're going to put Al-Qaeda in to kill the Christians. And they think you're so stupid when they're killing the Christians if they take over in a year or so. It'll be on the news. That dirty Al-Qaeda is killing Christians in Syria. Yeah, we got to have a convicted pedophile abuse you and your children at the airport because Al-Qaeda. It's all a giant hoax. The TSA, all of it.
Goes.
All right, it's Tuesday, 28th day of August 2012. Big news blitz coming up, interspersed with Alfred Adask joining us, and huge amounts of news and your phone calls in the third hour coming up. Scientists successfully hacked brain to obtain private data. That's out of CBS. I mentioned this yesterday, but I want to get into it more today to talk about this technocracy. But first off, I read part of this. The new magazine, InfoWars magazine, did sell out. We printed 90,000 copies, 50,000 on the street, 40,000 printed to shell to listeners at cost. By the way, we did the math. Even when I raised the price, I actually lost money on it. So it'll go up a little bit next month. And we're just trying to figure out how to be able to even ship out more than 40,000 in a week or so. We've shipped a lot of them out, but still trying to get to some of the orders right now. But you can all get a free copy of the magazine in a digital format at Infowars.com/newsletter. Just sign up there, and every day when we send out the news blast, we'll send a link to it as well. But I wanted to read, because it breaks down everything I'm talking about, my little letter to the public here, Print 2.0, the answer to the internet kill switch. If you're picking up this publication for the first time and wondering what we're all about, the answer is freedom. We stand behind the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, and the concept of 1776 expanding worldwide, the idea of liberty all over the planet. We are a firewall standing between liberty and the tyranny of corporatist and monopolist system that is diabolically opposed to freedom and the free market, especially when it comes to media and unrestricted flow of information. We oppose wireless NSA wiretapping and the secret arrest of Americans under the NDAA. We oppose endless wars, criminal proxy wars carried out in our names. We oppose the persecution of people for religious or cultural reasons. We are not left or right. We are constitutionalist. Because Obama is currently the titular head of the global empire and the adjoining crime syndicate, a lot of this publication will be about his actions. In the past, we were critical of Bush. We will also examine Romney and others who may replace Obama and his administration as the new front puppets. Infowars.com and Prisonplanet.com, our flagship websites, are rated by Alexa.com and similar metrics that gauge web traffic as the top alternative sites in the world. Infowars receives around 4 times, that's a typo, it says twice, the traffic of MSNBC.com. News via print is dying as a result of a perfect storm. People are abandoning corporate newspapers and print publications and instead are flocking to the web as so-called mainstream newspapers just regurgitate corporate and government talking points. Mainstream news is also dying online. This is why we are able to dominate them with film, videos, and our news websites, and now hopefully this publication. And that is happening. Print is impervious to a great extent to government kill switch and any other electronic scheme designed to shut down areas of the web the government wants censored. Digital and network technology make it easy for corporate control freaks to track down dissidents, delete their words, and even kill audio files of their voices, as they have done with my voice on YouTube in the past. Corporations have gone so far as to claim copyright on voices, including that of Optimus Prime, a character from the Transformers franchise. And to be specific, that when the guy that does his voice does interviews, they block that now, saying that, the computer recognizes it. That's right, YouTube is now adhering to third-party claims of ownership, many of them erroneous, to people's own voices, and using this as a pretext to delete content, representing a new frontier of censorship via copyright. Automated software bots are now being used to preemptively censor content with no due process whatsoever. Kindle recently demonstrated how it is possible to remove content when it invaded privately owned devices without permission or warning and deleted ebooks. As Apple co-founder Steve Wozniak recently warned, the very idea of cloud computing poses a threat to the existence of digital material and the idea of individual ownership. The director of the CIA has admitted that the internet is a surveillance tool that gives smart appliances the ability to spy on you. We'll get to more of this later. We'll be back. Stay with us. In a moment, we're going to be talking to radio talk show host and constitutional scholar, very informed fellow, Alfred Adask, who we haven't had on in about 6 months. Always good to get him on to talk about the nature of the globalists and how they see us. Got some interesting points we're going to be covering with him, and also I'm going to throw out some wild card curveballs at him, just some of the current news out there, and get his take on that in just a second. The next hour will be completely jam-packed with news and analysis. There is a lot of it. We'll be looking at the hurricane set to smash into New Orleans. New Orleans braces for Hurricane Isaac. We are also going to be looking at the fact that will we see gun confiscation again? I mean, any excuse to come and take our guns and loot our homes. After all, that's what a kleptocratic, criminal, foreign, banker-run state does that's totally anti-human. It hires a bunch of control freaks that enjoy doing things like that. Also, up at drudgereport.com, it's starting to get a lot of attention. U.S. veterans forcibly sequestered in mental hospitals is indefinite detention. That's happening all over the country. Bunch of examples there in that article by Suzanne Pozell. Continuing here, we're going to be getting into the economy. U.S. consumer confidence tumbles to a new low. There's more talk of QE3, which would spur inflation, but the economy will continue to collapse if they don't. So we are in trouble if they do, in trouble if they don't, just how the globalists want it. Also, I mentioned this yesterday, but I want to get more into it. Scientists successfully hack the brain to obtain private data. And now Homeland Security is setting up mobile trailers where they say they're going to march you through these machines. No, I'm not making that up. And you didn't wake up in a nightmare science fiction movie. You woke up in an authoritarian system. Now, these articles are also at Infowars.com and Prisonplanet.com. Blackhawk helicopters over Minneapolis worry residents. They have unlimited bases to train at, but they do it every town, every major city to acclimate you. This is admitted. Now, the Secretary of the Army 2 months ago said, we want to put 4,000 troops in every major city. Small towns will have a few hundred, quartered among us that we pay for. Armed drones. We got an article coming out where they're now putting grenade launchers on drones for police. while denying it at the same time. Amazing story Matt Williams is working on right now. But Kurt Nimmo and Paul Watson wrote about the latest urban warfare drill until you just get to where you accept it. And I saw on the news this morning where they're now ordering, well, they've delivered hundreds. They're ordering hundreds more. Big black giant armored vehicles for Homeland Security. And they always announce it and say that, it's for the border. And some are for the border. But they let the illegals in and are legalizing them. It's just to keep us from getting out. Now the IRS says, well, if we say you haven't paid your taxes, no judge, no jury, no due process, you won't be allowed to leave. So Ron Paul's right. The stuff on the border is now just for us, so we can't leave. Capital controls. They're now getting them in police departments everywhere. Big, giant, brand new, huge wheeled tanks that look like something out of the Road Warrior show. It's a total buildup against us. And we'll put some images of those up as well, those big, giant trucks that are everywhere. Also, this is out of Yahoo News. Homeland Security campaign expands to sports. Yeah, they're even at high school football games now, the TSA. They're at Paul Ryan events. They're not even cops violate the Fourth Amendment. They're not even feds out of their jurisdiction. Now it's just, they're people with a week of training, an extra 8 hours. They can read your mind and do these chat downs to see if you're a terrorist. Hey, listen, you little punks, I'm not answering your question. Next time I fly, and one of them sits there and says, Mr. Jones, by the way, listen to your show. I've had one of them do that. Well, more than one, but before he got in my face. You're a troublemaker, Mr. Jones. Where are you going? What you planning to do? I'm like, I'm not going to play this game with you. The government runs Al-Qaeda. The government runs Al-Qaeda. It's on the news. They run them worldwide. They got the underwear bomber on the plane. And here's what I'm planning. You know, Jesse Ventura's lawyer didn't file that suit we checked in the right court. Don't know if that was an accident or what it was, but tried to explain it to Jesse. But I've talked to the lawyers. It wasn't the right court. My lawsuits will be successful because I'll file about 5 of them in different courts. I mean, I am up to here with this that I can't travel with my family now because I will not let known pedophiles grab my family. They hire pedophiles to run in the major airports. It's come out. Defrock, Priest, you name it. They're the head guys. They're building a legion of evil. And I will not put up with it. They think you're stupid where they grow opium openly and have the troops grow it and then ship it in, but tell you it's still illegal. They think you're stupid. Just absolutely engaged in all this evil and running Al-Qaeda and running Fast and Furious. We're in danger, folks. We've got illegitimate crooks arming to the teeth against us because they've stolen the Treasury blind and are going to implode the economy and pose as our saviors. There isn't time to screw around anymore. It makes me so angry to read this. The Department of Homeland Security is urging fans at professional sporting events to help keep the country safe by reporting anything suspicious they see. So here's my challenge to people. I want everybody to call Homeland Security, okay? Call your local Homeland Security number, look it up, call it, or call 311 and have a stack of news and say, yeah, I want your email officer or the person taking the call. I want to be able to send you all this data so it fills the NSA